Brandon Aiyuk, Trent Williams, and injuries. We are going to talk about all the San Francisco 49ers updates and all the fun stuff that continues to happen around the Niners and what the expectation will be moving forward. Obviously, the injury news from today wasn't ideal. So let's get into that, unpack it, talk about the ramifications from some of the injuries. We got a minor Brandon Ayuk update, and of course, a little bit of a Trent Williams update. So let's get into all of those things right now. Smash that like button, drop an SDS in a chat. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What is good, everybody? We literally just got done doing a live film breakdown where we didn't talk about any Brandon Ayuk, we didn't talk about any Trent Williams or any of the other updates. So I just wanted to pop right back on, go over some of the things that we've heard from today, and get into it all. So let's talk about, I think the biggest thing from today was really the injuries. The injuries are starting to pile up for the San Francisco 49ers. This was one of the first updates that we got with Jonathan Feliciano, who will be having surgery on his knee and is expected to start the year on injured reserve, but will have a chance to return at some point in the middle of the season. So where we thought the path for Dominic Puny to get the start, it's really crazy how it all kind of came to fruition, because the reason why Dominic Puny is in the starting position to begin with is because of injury, because of Feliciano going down in training camp with a knee, with the situation to Spencer Burford and his broken hand. He literally jumped 2 spots into the starting lineup in the first day of pads, and he has yet to leave. And so with this injury that Jonathan Feliciano, I think it is the same knee that he's been dealing with since last year's Super Bowl. Just an unfortunate situation for Feliciano, because he was a great depth piece. I thought he was a guy who's definitely had a chance to be a starter this season, and whether at center or at guard, and just a rough blow for some big time, not only potential starter for the 49ers, but clear depth that has proven to be a very, very solid depth piece. So right now, with how you're looking at it, you have Feliciano hurt, Banks hurt, and Burford hurt. So I would have to say that there's no chance that Dominic Puny will not be starting for the San Francisco 49ers come week 1. Not only has he earned it with his play, but the guys are hurt. So you got to rock with Puny at this point. You have a continuity building up between Colton McKivitz and Puny. Like I said, we just got done with a live film breakdown of Puny. I posted a standalone video as well, doing a breakdown on Puny, just to show not just to explain the things, but just really show why Dominic Puny has earned this job. And it's just unfortunate that Feliciano's hurt, Banks is hurt, and Burford is hurt, but Puny is already turning into a massive hit for the 49ers in regards to the draft. Now, it wasn't all bad. We got some players who returned today. The biggest one is Isaac Guerendo. I personally have yet to see Isaac Guerendo on the field for the San Francisco 49ers. As you guys know, I covered training camp. So I got to see pretty much everyone for the most part, but I have not seen Isaac Guerendo play. So he was back at practice today. So that is a great sign for the 49ers, fourth round draft pick, and they traded up for. So far, their other fourth round draft picks in Jacob Cowing and Malik Mustafa look like early hits, right? They look like this was the draft class that the San Francisco 49ers needed. They needed to see early on in the process that these players were definitely going to make a difference for the 49ers this year. Not only this year, but next year and in the future. So we're seeing that. We are seeing that we are probably going to get a lot from some of these rookies. Isaac Guerendo is a guy we have yet to see. So I hope Guerendo is available in this preseason game against the Raiders that will be going down on Friday. So that is the hope there that we actually get to see him play. So we'll see. Uh, TBD on Guerendo's availability. Offensive lineman Spencer Burford, and again, this is according to Dave Lombardi of The Athletic. Spencer Burford participated in individual drills. So this is a step in the right direction based on what I've seen from 49ers training camp, where predominantly Spencer Burford would come out to practice. He would have his hand taped. He would have all his pads on. He would go through a light walkthrough, and then he would just go off to the side. He wouldn't participate in individual drills. So this is a good sign, at least for Spencer Burford, basically going from non like a really non-participant to a semi-participant. So Spencer Burford, it's just tough, man. Both the 49ers, Spencer Burford and Aaron Banks, are dealing with broken hands. So just tough situation there. Ben Barch returns, Patrick Taylor returns. But the guys that we got our eyes on are definitely Burford and Isaac Guerendo. We got this news from Kyle Shanahan earlier today, effectively saying that Talanoa Hufanga will not return to practice this week, and he will not play in the game against the Raiders, but that he's not ruling him out to be ready to go week 1 against the Jets. So I'm halfway thinking and wondering if Kyle Shanahan is just being ultra cautious when it comes to Talanoa Hufanga, because I've seen Talanoa Hufanga moving around. Like, he obviously not in football activities or things like that, but he looks like he's got some, he's still got that bounce in his step, still moving well. Like, I saw him jumping around and like messing around with his teammates, and I was paying attention to his like the weight distribution, and it's like, oh, he doesn't look like he's worried about it. He doesn't look like he's favoring anything. Doesn't look like he's cautious of anything. And that was that was probably like 2 weeks ago at this point. So I'm halfway of the mindset that they're just bringing on Talanoa very slowly. He'll have 2 weeks after this week to prepare for that game against the Jets. So maybe Kyle's plan is, let's not even risk a single thing in preseason, and then let's kick the can down the curb. We'll get Talanoa Hufanga back for week 1. So he's not ruled out for week 1, but he isn't playing as it stands right now. And I think this is the one that has really got a bunch of 49er fans up in arms. Is Ricky Pearsall, who is going to now miss the entire preseason his rookie year. And obviously, that's not what you want to see from your first round draft pick. A lot of people are coming down Ricky's road pretty tough. Um, I see a lot of unfortunate comments. I see a lot of people comparing Ricky Pearsall to Jalen Hurd. I think we should calm down a little bit on that comparison. Um, I mean, Jalen Hurd at least did play in a preseason game before he broke his back, basically, and then just never returned after that. But with Pearsall, he's having a rash of unfortunate injury luck. Okay. This is a guy who played 5 years in college, multiple schools. He was in Arizona, he was in Florida. He didn't miss a game in college. Yes, it's unfortunate that he's now missed his first three preseason games, but he's dealt with three different injuries so far throughout the span of this offseason. I can only imagine how frustrating it is for Ricky Pearsall during this time, how challenging it is to like all you want to do is go out and practice and compete and show your worth. And, obviously a lot of people had a lot of opinions on Ricky Pearsall being a first round draft pick. And I'm sure he wanted to go out and prove a lot of people wrong, prove himself right, prove the coaching staff, prove the organization right. So, I mean, it's not like he's not doing it on purpose. When I was credentialed for 49ers training camp practice, was happened to be the practice he hurt his shoulder. Um, he went down. He came off to the sideline. I was standing probably 5 feet away from him and Debo Samuel. He was pointing to like his shoulder blade area, so on the back side of his shoulder, when they were talking about the injury, and he was just telling them what was hurt. And I was standing right there, just watching them interact. I couldn't hear them or anything, but he was pointing on Debo, like where his shoulder hurt, and so it was kind of like it's in that upper left kind of shoulder blade area. So he must have just came down on it funky, and they again want to be cautious with him in some form, right? They want to be able to, like Kyle said, we got to save him from himself. He's going to go out there, he's going to perform, he's going to practice to the best of his ability, and we sometimes have to kind of put the reins on him and be like, all right, we're not going to push it here. Let's be smart about this. Let's get healthy. So I have at least seen Ricky Pearsall at 49ers practice. I at least have seen like what he's capable of. I'm not necessarily worried with the kind of string of bad injury luck that he's had. So with Pearsall, it's just a little bit of patience that we have to exercise. I know it's frustrating, right? You want to see this stuff not happen. You want to see your first round draft pick out there making plays, but they just have to be smart with all this stuff. This little report came out today about Brandon Aiyuk. I do have to say it was very entertaining watching everyone comment on the video that I made about this. It is crystal clear that regardless of being presented with, even if it's not a lot of information, but with some new information, 49er fans are at their absolute wits' end when it comes to hearing about number 11 and what is happening with this situation. People are ready um, to punch me in the face if I talk about Brandon Ayuk one more time. But as you guys know, I'm going to be consistent with how I cover this situation. I apologize if you're tired of hearing about it. Again, you have the ability and the freedom to not click on these videos if you don't want to hear it, which is fine. And again, it's funny. I'm trying to have as much fun with this at this particular point as I can because I get it. We're so we're so fatigued by this situation that yes, any update that isn't Brandon Ayuk has signed or Brandon Ayuk has been traded, everyone is like, we're tired. We're tired of this. This has been again, you guys are experiencing a situation we've never have seen before. So with that comes new territory. With that comes obviously a different way of reporting these things because now more than ever before, you've been hit with so many like Brandon Ayuk has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers officially by unnamed sources probably 17 times this offseason. It's kind of crazy. Brandon Ayuk has also signed with the San Francisco 49ers probably 14 times in the last week. So from unsubstantiated sources. So it's I get it. It's an exhausting task. It's how I feel trying to sift through all of these things, but it is what it is, right? I can't control when the 49ers I can't control when the 49ers get this done. All I can do is talk about the most recent things that are going down. So let's just take a look. Let's take a look at what Jordan Schultz put out today. So the new information, it's not a lot of new information. There is some new information. 49ers Brandon Ayuk had a meeting yesterday. That is the new information. Talks continue to progress on a long-term contract extension. Okay, that's a positive. The progression part is a good thing, right? There has been movement on a deal. Movement is a good thing. But there are some minor details that still need to be ironed out with ownership approval. To me, the biggest thing that came out of this was that last line was that we are at a point where it's up to Jed York to bless this thing to get it done. That's my read on it based on what Schultz is saying is effectively we figured out a massive portion of this deal. There are small little things that one side wants or whatever, and we are just basically in a situation where now it's up to Jed and the ownership group to just finalize the deal. So that's kind of what we've been talking about is that's where I felt like this has been at. It's been at the 49ers and Brandon Ayuk at the finish line, staring at each other and just waiting for one side to step across that line. Like that's how close we are. And that's why I think this last week or so has been kind of frustrating is because it sounds like we're really damn close. And it basically boils down to just someone agreeing. Someone saying yes, and someone uh, allowing this to move forward. So I thought it was funny today. Adam Schefter went on the Pat McAfee show, and he sounded annoyed. He was like, "Come on, hurry up." He was like, he's basically saying 49ers do something. Like, quit dragging your feet with this situation. This has got to get figured out soon. You're running out of time. And again, my big thing before we even got to this point was, man, I'm going to be really concerned The only way I'm going to be concerned about this Brandon Aiyuk situation is if he holds out of training camp. Well, he didn't hold out of training camp. He held in. So it's a somewhat positive that he's been in meetings. He's been around the team. He's been in the environment. He's probably working out. He's probably in great shape, but he's not practicing. That's the thing is with what we've heard from Nick Bosa, what we've heard from Deebo Samuel, these contract negotiations can take its toll. And also, when you're not practicing, it can take its toll. So that's the concern. It's like, I don't want to see the 49ers set themselves up to finally pay Brandon Aiyuk. And then Brandon Aiyuk, not even to his own fault, not be prepared for a arduous 17 to 20 game season because he didn't get the reps that he needed throughout training camp. So I'm just like, at a certain point, it would be fantastic to put an end to this situation because I don't believe at all that Brandon Aiyuk is going to be traded. We heard yesterday that the trade compensation was leaked, right? They said that it was going to be a second round draft pick and a mid round draft pick. Yeah. I walked into the Lamborghini dealership. I said, guys, all I have is a half eaten bag of chips. Can I put this down on a brand new Lamborghini and drive away today? They said no. And I said, why? Because they said that's not what this car is worth. And I said, well, it's what I'm willing to pay. So take it. They said no. That's what's happening with the Steelers. The Steelers are like, we got a half-eaten bag of chips. We'll take Brandon Aiyuk for a half-eaten bag of chips. And the 49ers are like, we're considering it. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not considering a second-round draft pick and a mid-round draft pick for Brandon Aiyuk. That has been confirmed that they're looking for a wide receiver and or a player in return. What we heard from the Steelers insider is he was adamant about the fact that it wasn't going to be a player in return from the Steelers. So that means that they are an option. We need to stop talking about the Steelers like they're an option. They are out. They are donezo. They are not in play to trade for Brandon Aiyuk unless they up their offer significantly. And they're not going to do that because they're not the Browns and they're not the Pats and they're not desperate to go get a wide receiver. Would they like to have Brandon Aiyuk? Of course they would. Are they going to overpay and overspend for Brandon Aiyuk? No, they are not going to do that. So that's why this whole situation with trying to continue to use like the Steelers as potential leverage in this situation, it feels like a shallow proposition because the 49ers aren't going to do that. It would be foolish to do that. And I know they're smarter than that. So that's why it's not going to happen. Like, that's how much faith I have in the 49ers' ability to make good trade decisions is they're not going to trade Brandon Aiyuk for a second and mid-round pick. That's not going to happen. It's not. Brad, what about BA being in Shanny's doghouse? At this point, Shanny's in Brandon Aiyuk's doghouse. I think the tables have turned. And when you pay Brandon Aiyuk $30 million per year, Shanahan's in BA's doghouse because I think BA will then make more money than Kyle Shanahan. So the days of Aiyuk being in the doghouse, they're done, man. They're done. If Kyle Shanahan willingly takes a player of that cost off the field, I would question his judgment. So if anything, it's the opposite way around. Shanny's in BA's doghouse, and that's how it feels like this whole situation is being operated from. He's like, "Hey, you remember when you put me in the doghouse that one time? You remember that?" Yeah, I did it. And I'm not going to let you forget it either. So I just don't think that I don't think that's a thing because you can't pay him that money and then put him on the sideline. You've got to make that guy worth it. Um, so that's the situation with Brandon Ayuk. Again, still same thing. We gotta wait for it to go down. Um, I don't know if you guys can hear this. Actually, I don't want to play it. I don't want to. I don't want to potentially get hit with copyright. But with that, we had a Trent Williams update. Supposedly, basically, Deshaun Jackson was on Speak on FS1, and he had said that he just got off the phone with Trent Williams and that 49er fans shouldn't worry that Trent will be there shortly. So Deshaun Jackson is your source. Um, we live in a world where former NFL players can break news now, just because they have the connections and they have platforms. They don't need traditional media anymore, so they can kind of do whatever they want. So a guy like Deshaun can say, "Yeah, I actually just got off the phone with my former teammate uh, from Washington in Trent Williams," and he said, "I'm working out, I'm grinding in Texas, and I'll be there soon." So if I had to, again, put a projection on this, not like we haven't done this 14,000 times at this point, but if I had to put a projection on when both Trent and BA get done, it has to be by next week. And not only by next week, I would say hopefully by the end of this week, by the weekend, something. I just hope that this thing get figured out very soon. Um, and we can then get these guys into practice for that little mini bye week between the 1st and the 7th. And then game week will start on the 9th. And then that would allow them to, I don't know what the practice schedule will be during that kind of off week. So I don't even know if they're practicing. But if they are, um, yeah, you would absolutely want um, to get those guys some reps, just to get their feet under them. That's about it. I mean, they're professionals. They don't necessarily need a ton of reps, but I would say they need some reps. I would definitely say they need some reps. Um, even unicorns like Trent Williams, I think needs some reps. Uh, I think yeah, we know that about Trent. He does not need training camp. Uh, he doesn't. He's that good of a player. But again, just want to get a couple reps under the belt, like a day or two, just going through the motions, getting back into it, getting the rhythm under you, and that's just kind of where I would like to see the situation ultimately play out with Trent. I don't have a concern really with Trent. That's why I don't think anyone has really spent too much time with it, just because we know what Trent is. We know that he already has an abbreviated practice schedule, and what is this? What was the news today on the link you sent out, and what does it mean? Could you be a little bit more specific? little bit more. Are you talking about the sponsorship announcement I made today? Is that what you're talking about? I could imagine. I think that might be what you're talking about. I can explain that in more detail if that is what you're talking about. I wanted to do a more proper announcement, but I'll just do it now. We've been cooking up. We've been cooking up some sponsors here, so I got some stuff going down behind the scenes. But we were able to announce this one today. I am proud to announce that the SF Niners has partnered with Autograph. It's a phenomenal app. Yep, there we go. I have partnered with Autograph, and it's a really awesome platform, honestly, that I think you guys would like. It's a really cool setup because it's like if I had to compare it to something, it's basically like a Bleacher Report setup. It's a one-stop shop for you to get all your 49ers content into one feed. But the really cool thing about this is you get rewarded. You get points for the content that you either read, watch, or listen to within the app. So then you can also build up your ranking against other people who use the app and see who's, you know, using the app the most, who's gotten the most points. And then you can redeem the points for tickets for other items. It's the whole concept is to essentially rewards you for using the app. It's still all the same content, right? It's all funneled in the same place. But every time you read, watch, or listen, you get rewards for it. And then you build up those rewards. You can also use a lot of the stuff that they do for fee free tickets to games. There's going to be cool exclusive rewards and giveaways and stuff like that. It's actually a really awesome app. It's founded by Tom Brady, so they have some serious backing. It's a serious company. And I'm really really excited to be partnered with them. I will actually could drop you a referral link if you want to go download it and check it out right now. So let me get that for you. I'll drop that in the chat. But I see the vision with this company. I'm really picky about who I do sponsorships with, and so I feel really comfortable about not only the company, where they're going, where they're rooted, but I see the vision, and I know it would benefit my fans because you guys are engaging in content, right? Like you're looking for content. So it's one place that curates all the content and then you just get rewarded for it. And it's honestly an awesome concept. And that it's still being developed, but it's a really cool thing to be on the ground floor with. I'll drop the link in the chat. You can use my referral code SF Niners. I just popped this in the chat for you guys. So I would say download the link, throw in the referral code, and just mess around with it. Just check it out. You'll start to see, like, oh, these are the posts, and these are the videos, and these are the articles that I read anyways. But if I read it through the app, I can get rewarded for it. So it's a really cool concept, and Autograph is building a really really cool platform for fans. It's really fan driven, and that's why we went through it. I looked at the offering. I was like, wow, this really makes sense for you guys. Like you guys know that I don't come on here and I don't push a bunch of stuff at you. If I enter a partnership, it's because I have a belief in the company that is sponsoring me. It's not just like, oh yeah, send me whatever and let's do it. I'm very particular about who I partner with. And so this one is one that I'm really excited to move forward with. Again, I would say check it out. Go just download it. It's free. Just hop in, start messing around with it. It's pretty cool. Shout out to Steven, says he got it now. Love to see it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this partnership. We're just getting started. It's going to continue to grow. I'll say this: we got a giveaway. We got a giveaway cooking up. You guys will hear about it first. I haven't announced it yet, but we have a pretty solid giveaway of some signed memorabilia in the works of a player that I think you will be very, very interested in. So keep an eye out for that. But again, make sure download the Autograph app. It's free and you get rewarded for your fandom and all kinds of other perks within the app. Dropped in the link again if you guys wanted to check it out. It's worth it. It's a free app. Don't got to pay for nothing. And it's going to be something that I think you guys would definitely really, really enjoy. So that is exactly what we announced earlier today. And we got some stuff cooking up. I should have some a couple more coming down the pipe. So we're getting ready. It's been busy. That's for sure. But I think we're all in the same spot where, yes, they are a W sponsor. And we just want to, one, bring cool products to you guys. And two, continue to just manage everything like we have done, bringing you guys the best content, bringing you guys the best products, and being able to hook you guys up in the process is huge. I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate everyone for tapping in. This isn't going to be a super long one, but just wanted to come through, get all the updates out the way, and yeah. So another day. Brandon Aiyuk still remains unsigned. Hopefully we'll get that taken care of here pretty soon. But make sure you smash that like button. Drop some cookies in the chat on your way out. Make sure you go and check out the Autograph app. Download it. Get into it. I think you guys will really like it. And I also want to know. Let me know what you guys think. We're in this process where I think your feedback would be huge on how we can make the app better, how we can make the content better for you guys. I want to hear your guys' feedback on the app as well. So let me know what you guys think about it and all that good stuff. So appreciate everyone tapping in. Oh, we got Puerto Rico checking in. Love to see it. Appreciate all of you. I'm out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see